Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, here where we talk everything Milan, going from the. You did put your. Can I get at least through the intro before you start showing off on the YouTube machine, Steve? Where we talk everything Milan, Serie A, Europa League, and in January will be the Coppa Italia, the Super Coppa Italia. And yes, well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Now you can show off your scarf.
Boom.
What do we have over here? AC Milan, Slovenia, from across the world.
Ba-ba-ba-boom.
We're international, right? This was a gift there from Slovenia.
Yes.
All right, and why don't we? Because it was quite a week, Steve. It was quite a week. But before we get into the whole conversation, how you are as we would say in Italian, una scarogna.
Scarogna.
Scarogna. How would we say this to our English listeners? You're bad luck.
Bad luck.
Because you left the game because you had to leave with your son.
Yes.
And they scored 30 seconds after. But before we do all this, we're going to introduce our guest this week. We have on the, I don't know, you can't see on the camera right now, but we have the Skype machine over here. We have the Gmail on this one over here. We're all set up. And we have from the Milan world, right, of the Twitter. We found him on the Twitter machine.
Presidente
contacted him, and you're gonna set us up how he reached out to him after. Like we like these.
I'll put everything into perspective.
So we have fellow Milan fan Alex Oliva. Alex, are you there?
I'm here, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing. Where are you from exactly in the States?
I live in Louisville, Kentucky. So some people know where that is because of the horse racing, and some people don't.
Louisville, Kentucky. I don't think they have the winters like us over there.
No,
Louisville,
they don't.
Kentucky.
They have a fantastic basketball team, that's for sure.
Yes. The NCAA.
Yes, we do.
There we go.
Yeah.
So before we get into all our conversations, tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? I know you blog and you write for some sites, and you did pick up our story, if I'm not mistaken, from when Marcotti was on gracefully was with us.
Hold on, gracefully.
Oh,
we did him a favor.
Yeah, we did him a favor. Like I don't want to sound too much, Steve. So yeah, just go ahead, plug yourself, put yourself over.
Oh yeah, like I said, I live here in Louisville, Kentucky. I am blogging for the AC Milan offside for the SB Nation. I just got into that after I've done a little blogging for U.S. men's national team related stuff for a while, and that kind of dissipated. But kind of always the first club team I ever really was attracted to was Milan, and kind of from then that's been my team. And so I saw an opportunity online to kind of get into writing, and so I got into the offside with a good group of guys, and like you said, we use you guys sometimes. Great source. Just trying to keep everybody up to date on what's going on and give some good perspective out there every week.
He's starting off. He's putting us over.
He's complimenting us.
Like you see, very nice. And you can see there's a lot of wrestling terminology on this one. I'm actually wearing my Roddy Piper T-shirt over here. The red, it's all
Alex, just for the record, I am not wearing anything Roddy Piper. Okay.
You're not?
No.
R.I.P. Right? R.I.P.
There we go. You see. So look, before we get into the presidential points, let's take it back to Sunday. So we gather up. There was me, you, it was Tommy, it was Abraham, and Alex from Italy. Is with his son. We're watching the game, and throughout the whole game, I'm watching, and you're getting mad. You don't want to curse because your kid is there, and you don't want to be slamming table. Which you did once, slam the table. You scared the poor girl behind the bar. But Steve, take us through. Actually, you leaving at the last second, but what did you think? What did you think up to that? Let's pass it 6 times before we actually go for goal there. I know you weren't happy.
No, I was not happy. I didn't like the way Milan came out. I didn't like that we were getting manhandled by Udinese.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that person who's gonna Monday morning quarterback Milan once again. But guys, let's face it, we were terrible. We were terrible.
3 points is all fine and dandy, but there's nothing to be happy about other than don't scream at me. Bakayoko had a okay game.
Okay.
Okay,
not like Milan Twitter where he came out of his shell.
No.
The Bakayoko of Monaco. We have not seen that yet.
No, but
I hope. Look, everybody always tells me, Steve, you're hard on him. You're hard on the players. Please, he needs time to come into his shell. What shell are we coming into, people? What shell?
it's week 12 here, and I'm gonna ask you to say your thoughts on the game. But what was going through my mind was as soon as Higuain went down, the only thing that's coming to my mind was what kind of team are we going to play against Juventus this Sunday? I don't know what were your feelings with the game or the injury. What your thoughts, Alec?
I was with you when Higuain went down. I'm sitting there thinking, man, who's gonna score a goal for us? I'm not really sure because outside of Suso cutting in on his left foot, there hasn't been a lot there. But I am with you on this. I think Bakayoko played his best game in a Milan shirt so far. There was a few times there where he just dispossessed someone, stopping them cold in their tracks, and I was impressed with it. Now, as you said, it was an okay game, but I think that he showed there's signs there, and if these can improve and he can become more like the Monaco Bakayoko, then I think maybe it'll end up working out. But only time will tell. And like you, I'm sure you all know, one good game out of so many doesn't make you a good player all of a sudden.
Exactly, and I think what could be retained from his performance is that he wasn't trying too hard, Steve, and he wasn't trying to be attacking midfielder, right? What's wrong? Bakayoko? What? He's what? Can you just admit it, Steve? He had an okay game.
Guys, let me ask you this question.
All right, here we go.
If the game finishes, and I'll ask this to you, Alex, and be as truthful as possible. This is my opinion. If the game ends 0-0, are we talking about Bakayoko how he had an okay game?
I think so, because I think that if that game ends 0-0, he's the only positive thing that came out of that game was him not playing like crap.
I think that's the message where he didn't play like crap. It's not like he had a great game, but he didn't play like crap. You had at some moments Suso trying way too much. I know, like you had some harsh words for him at the bar there, Steve. Castillejo too, a couple of times you can see that he wants to. La Grinta's there, but even
he tries.
But in the end, it's like when he was supposed to pass, he would try to shoot. When he would try to shoot, they would try to pass, and
he just seems too wild.
Yeah.
I admire the Grinta. I admire the hustle. I admire his, the work ethic. But he's too wild. He doesn't look like your typical Serie A player. He looks like a player who's played in La Liga, where those moments where he looks wild will get you past the defender in La Liga. The moments where you look wild in Serie A, you stick out like a sore thumb because you just don't fit.
And let's put it this way here. In the end, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but Romagnoli scoring at the last minute, and from all the options that were there open, I think he was the last option to go, because I believe he had Castillejo on the side all by himself, right? And okay, in the end we won, but before we get into the presidential points, I'm going to ask you guys both. Is Milan in fourth spot because Roma, Lazio are not playing well?
Obviously.
Because we're not a fourth place team.
No.
Do you agree, Alex? Do you think it's like we're just there in position right now because I don't know?
I don't agree, but that kind of lends back to my perspective on the entirety of the season, to be honest. I think at the beginning we were playing better than the results were showing, and even though a lot of people were up in arms, I understand. We're a very demanding fan base, as I'm sure we'll talk about. But I think at the beginning of the season we were playing better than we were getting, and I think now we're getting better than we're playing, and it's kind of evened itself out. And the question is, can things go right from here? I guess that's how I look at it. Now, maybe I'm being a little naive, but I do think that the injuries and everything playing into it made this past weekend, and are going to make the next few weeks, at least through the break, tough.
Yeah, no, and you're not off at all. It's a very valid point. You could take the game against Naples I find that we looked really good against Naples, surprisingly good, especially where the season started off the way it was, where we had to skip a game and start off right away with Naples.
Yeah.
I found against Atalanta we looked good. For me, the thing that bothers me, Alex, and I'll be very honest with you, I don't mind winning ugly. I enjoy it, actually. I love it, but not as ugly as we've won these past two games. Like, if it's a better opponent, I think we can all here agree we're not getting the points.
And we'll see what comes up. Let's say against Juventus. And by the way, guys, for the YouTube viewers, if ever, I do have playing in the background the replay of the match, so just in case Steve sees something he doesn't like and he loses his mind. And for you, Alex, is like if you hear the thump on the table, well, that would be Steve. Steve, can you take us through as he's writing these points and he's reaching out to our friend Alex here from Kentucky? How's the president? Paint us a picture, please. Paint us a picture.
So, Alex, for us here, the weather is getting colder. So I'll put it into perspective how El Presidente contacted you. Basically, he gathered up the family and he dressed them up.
With foulards.
No, actually, hold on. Before he dressed them up, he went out into the wild and caught himself a bear.
A bear.
Single-handedly killed the bear, not with his bare hands, with a pencil. He's an accountant. It's the only way to do it, right, guys? So he kills the bear with the. I'm sorry, YouTube lovers and people on the podcast who love animals. It's just a joke. He didn't kill the bear.
Yeah. He took the fur.
And from that fur, he made 4 articles of clothing. A dress. Okay, this is for the first lady. Okay, not too short.
Don't show any knees. Don't show any knees.
He made 2 little outfits for the little bambinos. Okay, but for him, he made himself like a Conan the Barbarian type of thing, where the bear head sticks like right over his head like this, and then the teeth are like almost at his eyes.
Okay.
And he said, "Who am I gonna get?"
He got himself in the zone.
He got himself in the zone.
Okay.
He got himself in the zone.
And then
the blood was still on his neck.
And he reached out.
And he looked at the blood and he said, "It's Alex this week. It's Alex."
And he reached out to Alex and he came in.
And there you go. That's how we have Alex.
I have no problem believing that story whatsoever.
Exactly.
But I thought
sounds completely credible to me.
Yeah, I see.
My court,
so.
And this was all on his maroon couch.
Yes.
With the plastic all on the top.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
and he put the bear to sleep like this. Look into my eyes, Grizzly.
See, that would have been
look into my eyes.
That would have been a better story. That he didn't kill him. He put him to sleep, and he was able to take his fur from whatever. Presidential point number 1. You see, Marcello, we love him. We're putting him over all these stories. Romagnoli the hero. Did you guys notice that ever since we updated our podcast intro, Romagnoli scored 2 last-minute winners? Coincidence or not? Dun dun dun. Huh? Speaking of the miraculous goal against Udinese, Gattuso said the following: "We were fooling around and we got lucky. It is rare in Serie A to see 5 passes inside the box." Question to you, Steve, first. What were you guys thinking when Milan had the ball in the box and nobody was shooting? What other furniture would Steve have broken if Milan didn't score? So we touched a little bit based on that, but you didn't see that. But what were you thinking?
I saw it after. Obviously, I saw it after. I actually pulled over and I watched it on DAZN. In my car, just to make sure that I wasn't missing. I didn't miss it for too long.
All right.
I couldn't believe that was happening. I had to rewatch it again to make sure that I counted the passes, 5 passes in the box. I don't know what the Udine player was thinking. The game was over. If he boots the ball down the field, the game is over. They go home with a point. Milan Twitter goes crazy. I lose my shit. But no, he decided to take another touch. Romagnoli, fantastic tackle. We got down the field and we completed 5 passes in their box.
And from all starting from a Fabio Borini tackle. Let me remind everybody there, but
Romagnoli's tackle, not Fabio Borini's tackle.
At the beginning when he took him out, Fabio Borini was a big factor.
Fabio Borini, stop! The guy has a copper hair. He has hair, white hair. He looks like Ravanelli.
The Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Take us through your mental state when you were seeing that play coming around there, or maybe when you saw that ref. I don't know what the hell they were calling for the VAR, but take us through there.
So I'm sitting, my girlfriend and my dog were actually asleep on the couch, and I had my headphones in, watching on ESPN Plus here in the U.S. on my computer, and I'm sitting there, and once they got it to Romagnoli and Suso in the box, I'm just like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did not want him to shoot that ball.
No.
He had no business shooting that ball. And the moment he crushed it in the back of the net, I threw my hands up in the air and screamed. And my girlfriend and dog jumped out of their skin because they were dead asleep. And it was great. I mean,
it was a good feeling. But the Milan of old, we were used to waiting for that one to go in and oh no, it's not gonna go in, but it was guys, like I said, let's take the 3 points and we'll
run.
Tre punti sofferti, they would say in Italian. A very, very suffered 3 points, but yeah, we'll take it because I don't know what we're gonna manage to do against the Juventus on Sunday, but anyways.
Well, and I think that, and you kind of touched on this earlier, is when you play these big teams, when we're playing Juventus and Roma and Inter, those points are points that we count on. And I think that in a game like this one this past weekend, getting the points in the end is the most important thing moving forward, because for us to end up at the end of the season where we want to be, more often than not, we need to beat the teams below us in the table. And I think that the smaller teams or the teams that are struggling, it wasn't pretty. We said if we had lost, the best thing we would have been talking about was how Bakayoko didn't look bad.
Yeah.
So, at a certain point, you just got to take the 3 points and run, I feel like, just like you said.
There we go. And we're watching the game right now. Steve, anything? And not getting too nervous so far?
No, actually, it's funny you said, as soon as you said Bakayoko didn't play bad, he played a nice forward pass, right? So
we're taking stuff in stride here. And in the
and now
end,
he
guys,
just lost the ball in the midfield. Yeah. So, hey, let's go.
And a clean sheet for the first time in 16 games for Serie A. Point number 2, speaking of the devil, with Biglia out injured till the new year, Gattuso prefers putting Bakayoko despite his recent struggles in his place, showing his patience and continued faith in the French midfielder. Question to you, Alex, first. Are you surprised a chance has not been given to Bertolacci, who Gattuso said is supposed to be the vice Biglia? What does it say about Bertolacci when Montolivo gets his first call-up of the season?
Doesn't say a lot. I think that he was kept around because it became clear at a certain point that midfield wasn't going to be reinforced in the summer. And if we ended up in a situation like we've ended up now in some of our positions with multiple injuries, we didn't want to be hung out to dry. And sometimes you just got to ride with what you got. It's not good for him, though. I mean, Montolivo looked out of it. I mean, they're trying to terminate his contract. They're trying to walk him out the gates. And he's getting called up, and then, there's nothing good you can say about it, really.
It looks bad on Bertolacci, and from what we've seen, so I think we saw him once.
Bertolacci, Jose Mauri
didn't play bad either in the.
Yeah, but if you're not getting it, guys, it was obvious. Bakayoko struggled. He's been struggling from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason, Gattuso thinks that he should still start ahead of Bertolacci and Jose Mauri, there is no space for Bertolacci and Jose Mauri on this team.
So what? You just keep you keep Montolivo as a
no, because there's no space for Montolivo either. We understand, like Alex said, at a certain point they figured, hey, there's no more money to strengthen this midfield, which in the end might be a bit of our Achilles heel.
Which we've been saying for the last few years.
But I'm saying with Biglia there, yes. But because you don't have another option where he doesn't trust anybody else, we had to play Biglia against Genoa, which maybe if he would have sat out that game, he wouldn't have got injured. Maybe yes, maybe no.
But we
played him, and now he's hurt. And now he's not hurt for 1 week. not 2 weeks. It seems like every time you go on Twitter, he's gone for another month. We're at 3 months now.
2 to 3 months or something like that. I know.
Yeah.
I know they said Higuain looks like.
Yeah,
he's
I
definitely
remember.
not
I
in-
remember. Andrea Conti was out for 2 to 3 months. It ended up being 462 days later.
It looks like Caldara is going to go through the same fate.
Exactly.
Again, right?
So it's a big problem.
Yeah.
So not having that depth in that team, right? But we'll see. Because now with this injury prone, they did say what Higuain looks definitely not for Thursday.
Higuain, guys. Alex, I'm gonna ask you because Vinny was with me at watching the game and he saw my reaction to that. Can you explain to me how he got hurt? Because for me, I've seen it 3 times and I don't understand how he got hurt.
I don't either. I mean,
Okay.
if I'm being honest, I think that he has all his eyes set on that Juventus game
Yeah.
because they kicked him out and got rid of his wages so they could get Ronaldo. That plain and simple. That's why that was done. That's why we got the better end of that deal and got Caldara. You know, he was kicked out for Ronaldo, and I think he didn't want to risk it because he wants to be there to play in that game.
Yeah.
At least, and in some ways, I hope that's why he did it. Otherwise, then I'm gonna have some real questions about his commitment.
Yeah.
When he pulled for when he signed off to be subbed, it looked more like I ain't taking no chances. And the
yeah.
fact that the first reports coming out saying, we're gonna take it easy but hopeful for Sunday. So we'll see where we go from there. Point number 3. What do we got here? Fan frustration.
Why are you cutting off Alex?
I don't know, I called him off. Sorry,
Alex
go ahead.
wanted to say something.
All I was gonna say was, when you see people that get called up for international duty that don't go, it's all, or that they're having these transfer issues or things like that. It's always the, strained back, some other odd muscular injury or something that's not very specific, and maybe he just played that card, like I said, to make sure he's there for that Juventus game.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're right on that one. Going on to fan frustration, Milan fans have been rather critical of the team, and justifiably so, given their inability to play a full 90 minutes and the fact Milan has one of the highest payrolls in Serie A. Needing last-minute miracle goals over teams like Genoa and Udinese doesn't make Milan look like a top 4 club. However, both Gattuso and Romagnoli have stated that some of the criticisms have been excessive and unfair. 2-part question.
Oh, the famous 2-part
the
question.
famous 2-part question.
Alex, you are one lucky guy. You don't always get a 2-part question with Presidente.
See? So Steve, to you, are Milan fans being harsh in their criticism, perhaps based on emotion, or is it the rage legit? And the fans perhaps overestimate the quality of the roster, hence why the team is not meeting their expectations.
Okay. This is a question I know. This is Presidente pumping me to the max.
Why is he pumping?
Because he knows. This is the way I look at it. When I talk about Milan, if I'm surrounded by Milan fans, I will critique to the maximum. I will rip Bakayoko. I will rip Donnarumma and not being able to play with the ball at his feet. You name it, I will criticize.
Yeah.
I will forever, ever, never, ever do that in front of someone else who is not a Milan fan.
A snake, perhaps.
I will protect them to the utmost. That's social media.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? As fans, we're not going to say, hey, we like winning in the last minute from our center back scoring goals when we have a $90 million striker and a future prospect that hasn't scored in 2 games, or we're missing a midfield. And yeah, sure, we'll play the guy who two days ago we said we would send him home before his loan would end at the end of the year. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say to everybody. Within ourselves, guys, in the Milan Weekly podcast, we understand there's a high percentage of Milan fans who are listening to this.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Inter fans who are. They will, and by all means, come and listen and support our podcast.
We have 2 snakes. We have Francis and
those are the
Nima.
snakes. But the snakes know. The snakes are not stupid. They know. They know what we know. So, are they criticizing harsh? No, because we're not at where we want to be. We suffered a long time. We deserve better. We deserve better as a fan base because we've stuck with them for 7 long years. long years.
Yeah, and I think it's Steve. Even the guys buying the team, it's like okay, maybe a new project. Then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, you go play fantastic against Napoli, you end up losing. Then you win against Roma. Then you go with all these small. Then the performance, like, but now you got us excited. Now you can't perform. Is it harsh? I'm sure some people are very harsh. I don't think the Curva Sud has been as vocal as last year. I
No.
believe they came up with one of them because
Less.
they see like glint of the players and that they're trying.
But grinding out these wins in the final minute, there is points for that.
Yeah.
There is points for that for the Milan fan who's talking to an Inter fan, a Juve fan, a Napoli fan, so on and so forth. But
It's just not fun.
Exactly, it's not fun, and within ourselves, we would be lying to ourselves if we haven't overestimated this roster. Yeah, because that's what we have. This is the jersey we love. I don't fall in love with the players. You want to give me 100 million for Suso, I will take him to wherever he wants to go for 100 million. As long as you take that 100 million and you make my team better. We did it with Sheva.
We did it with Kaká.
We did it with Kaká.
I don't know if we did the team
We
better.
didn't really do better, but we took the money.
We took the money.
Okay, Silvio, he was in the red for like 20 years. Could he have made money on one player for once in his life? Yeah, well, I think he deserved that.
It's a business. Do you say, Alex, that the people are being too harsh, or is it just managing our expectations, or overestimating the quality of the roster? Where do you stand on all this?
Well,
How could Abate not be able to make a cross?
Sorry.
Did you see that?
Yes, I saw. Sorry.
18 minutes.
Okay,
It's 20 years he plays this game.
No, you're
Sorry,
telling me
Alex.
that I'm cutting him off, and now you have to cut him off.
This guy puts the highlights just to rub me, just to make me go crazy.
That was the
again.
whole plan in there in the background. So yeah, go ahead there, Alex.
you had sent me some emails and we were talking. You were asking me when did I become a Milan fan, and I became a Milan fan around 2003 after the '02 World Cup, and I was really into soccer. The U.S. had made their deep run to the quarterfinals that year, and then the following year, my grandfather came here from Italy, and so I was just attracted to this red and black Italian team, even though I've come to find out, different places, vastly different cultures in some way, opposite sides of the country, but something about Milan grabbed me and pulled me in, and to watch all those years, 03 and 04 and 05 and 06 and 07, and watch Kaká, who is my favorite player of all time, I think that we're right to be harsh because we know what it's like to see really, really good play and really good teams. But I do think that in some ways we need to look at this roster and manage our expectations, because I think the reality of the roster is you have a Champions League-ish level team from your first team, your first 11, but the drop-off is just so large that sometimes we do need to recognize, it's just going to be tough sledding for us, I think. But I think the criticism's fair because we belong nowhere else but in the Champions League, and we've been gone for far too long.
Yeah.
Way too long.
And it's funny, we had a member, Alex, who went to the derby, Yanni.
Yeah.
And he tweeted something out. He's like, my experience at the derby was fantastic minus the loss. But he kind of realized that in Milan, sad but true, unfortunately there's more Inter fans than there is Milan fans. So Milan takes on that image of so many, myself being Canadian, yourself being American, people from Africa, people from South America. They see the Milan, they see, like you said, we've been used to champagne football. We go back and we watch games of 2002, 2003, 2010, 2011. Those players, Ronaldinho, Ibrahimovic, Sheva, Seedorf. Guys, we're going to be kidding ourselves if we'll be able to field another team like that. It would take the $2 billion that the Qatari fund invested into PSG. And we might not even get those players because it might not even be enough.
And they still didn't win anything.
And they
even
still
after
didn't
that
win
run,
anything.
Right? But we're gonna get into that point. But it's all legit money, huh? It's all legit money.
Of
that they
course,
spent.
of course.
Point number 4. Given the injuries, Milan. You know what I think when you read out these presidential points, I think he has a thesaurus. You know, he thinks of these eloquent words, o presidente. You know, as he's smoking his pipe. You know, looking at.
No, he's a very healthy man. He does not smoke.
He doesn't smoke.
No.
He vapes.
No, he doesn't inhale.
Oh.
He smoke. He just wants the
Just
the smoke to come out.
Okay,
nicely.
okay.
And he makes little hearts and circles with the smoke.
Gotcha. So given the injuries Milan has been dealing with, it is clear that Gattuso's tactics have changed accordingly. He is more focused on the one area that concerns him the most, which he stated in the post-game general. What's wrong, Steve? What did you say? Something. You're reading his...
No kidding, his tactics changed. We have no more players left. Mache.
My biggest concern is for the team to play more compact. We must be able to position ourselves better on the pitch and leave less open areas for the opponents to take advantage of.
Compact.
Even Genoa's coach complimented Gattuso, saying he put out a formation that surprised him and took him off guard. Really?
Wow.
Okay. His question, in about 7,700 words, what are your thoughts on this new defensive kind of Milan, who seems to have sacrificed offense, no goals in 2 games from Cutrone and Higuain, while limiting Genoa to 1 bad luck goal and shutting out Udinese? In capital letters. Yay, we got our first shutout of the season. Maybe Steve will give Donnarumma some love now. Ha ha, ha ha, ha 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 ha. That's what he wrote from over there.
Can't fault Donnarumma on the goal in Genoa, that's for sure.
No.
1 in a million, and that's just basically pure Milan luck, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Can't... Look, against Udine, he made some big stops.
No, he definitely did. Even though you were a bit iffy, as soon as the ball will go back to his feet, you'll be...
It cannot be. It cannot be, guys. Again, Alex, please stand with me on this. I get it, he's 19 years old. But come on. I'm pretty sure you and I, if we're playing, you keeper, because I'm too fat to be a keeper. You're the keeper and I'm the defender. If I'm playing the ball to you, I'm pretty sure you can clear the ball or you can make another pass better than Donnarumma. Against Udine, it happened multiple times.
Yeah,
They were pressing us very high.
They did.
At that point, we need the keeper to be responsible. We need to keep ball possession. We were not able to keep ball possession against Udine. Do you understand what the other black and white team will do to us on Sunday?
Eat us alive.
Those mistakes will end up in the back of our neck. I don't want to go through another Coppa Italia. I'm sorry, guys. I will not be able to hack it.
Yeah. And
I don't want no papara. You know, if Juve comes out and Juve scores 3 goals and they're legitimate 3 goals, I will take that. I will take that as a loss and as a measuring stick and say, you know what? We are this far behind. But losing the ball when we play it back to him, or paparas, I will not accept for him. That's a $12 million goaler.
So Alex, would you stick with this compact kind of, try to not really park the bus, but more defensive minded against Juventus, knowing that we're probably gonna have half a team? What do you think of all this, not letting in a goal or this kind of compact formation that Gattuso's talking about?
I think that it's a necessity thing. Like we've pointed out, there's so many injuries. I tend to think that a lot of our defensive issues, at least from a center back perspective, could be solved by getting Caldara back. And then, if we had 2 healthy first choice right backs and weren't having to depend on Abate so much, maybe we'd be in a better spot. But with what we have, as much as I hate saying this, I would almost rather try to sit back and pick our spot to some extent, because I think that if we get this open, Ronaldo, Dybala, Cuadrado they can cut that defense up. I mean, look what Udinese did on a few plays. I mean, a few of those that they had, Dybala's putting in the back of the net without question.
Yeah, and let's not forget, guys, that even though we played the way we played, that was Zapata in defense, and he had a horrible game, and we still managed not to We're not gonna be pulling no rabbits out of our hats even
No.
against a Juventus team. But yeah, definitely, Steve. They gotta go with a compact.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go with that.
What, you're gonna go shoot all in? Let's go.
I think that we've been criticized. You know, we tried it against Inter for some reason. I don't know why he decided to go that way. We spoke about it. I don't think the compact works for us, guys. I don't think the trying to park the bus and the counterattack works for us because I don't think these players are mentally stable enough to stay compact for that 90 minutes.
I could
Go ahead, Alex.
I
Sorry.
could agree with that. I could agree with that. I guess my concern is I think that it needs to be stressed to some of them though not to get too far up the field.
Yeah.
Not to get caught out because it's almost not as much of my worry of can they play while they're back because I understand what you're saying. I mean, if if we're just under siege for 90 minutes by Juventus, it's going to end poorly for us.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was going towards. Like, I want them to play soccer, right? I want them to generate some offense. I want them to be aggressive, but to be smart about it. Because Juve, they're able to string us back, right? They're able to fish us into absorbing some of our pressure, and then in 2 touches they're down the field, and that ball's going to be behind the net. These players have to be a little bit more intelligent when they're on the field. Some of that pressure is going to be given to them by Juve because they are mentally stable to, if they want, absorb as much pressure as they want because they have a fantastic defense, in quotations. The keeper seems like Szczesny has found himself, and they know that in 2 touches, their midfield will be straight up the field, dissecting our team. So I think if we're smart about it and not absorb some pressure, you're gonna have no choice. You're gonna have to absorb some pressure.
Or not to show if they do come off the counter attack, which they probably will, and if they do score a goal, don't look like okay we've lost the game. Just don't be that Milan that we look like
the
in
body
shambles
language.
when-
The body language cannot go down. It cannot be another Coppa Italia, guys. Let's face it. We won't be able to handle it.
No, definitely.
But not another Coppa Italia, and also at that. I don't know. You're Milan. It's enough. I don't want to play like a Primavera side.
Just lose.
I don't want to play.
Lose with
I don't
pride.
want to play like a provincial side anymore. I don't. And if I have to lose 3-0, I wanna fight. I want Castillejo to take someone out.
Like he did.
Like he did. And I don't want him to get injured. Just send a message. Yeah, you won again 3-0. That's fine. But the next time, you're gonna pay the price. You're gonna think about it once or twice. I don't want to be walked all over anymore.
Like Bilia when he gave that little knock to Nainggolan
Exactly.
just today.
Show a little bit of character.
That's all.
Yeah.
So,
mean-
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if this is just a turn of phrase from down here, but when you're playing a game, you want it to be a rock fight, and you want them to know you're in a rock fight. Even if we end up losing, you want it to be tough. You want them to play hard. You want to feel like they're all like Cotrone when he scores one of those goals and just runs, pumping that badge as hard as he can,
Yeah.
That's what you want to see, even if you're going to come up short.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of fouls in that game. I hope. Well, I don't hope, but
They gotta slow down the game and
tactically, that's what you have to do. You have to try to slow them down. You have to
take the smart fouls and
Exactly.
and that's it, right? And speaking of smart fouls,
I do have a point on Steve's Donnarumma point, by the way.
go ahead.
So, as I can have surmised and can tell very quickly, Steve's not down with Donnarumma playing it out of the back.
No, you don't say.
But I don't think that he's good at it, and I don't think that he's good at it because he can't break any lines when he does it. Unless it's somebody 20, yards at the most out to his side, he can't pick the pass. And so while it's fine against the smaller teams, and I think that against smaller teams we should start playing out the back, if it's somebody like Juventus and the pressure's going to be on, they need to have a plan because he's not going to be able to pick a pass and put it up to Bakayoko or Kese or Bonaventura or somebody in the second level. And if he tries to, it's going to burn us, I think.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. He cannot pick a pass further than
No
20
vision.
yards to the left. No vision. And that's a bit scary, to be very honest with you, because as a keeper, your vision and your positioning is everything, right? And it's so strange because positioning, he doesn't look out of place.
No, it just looks like he's stressed out. He doesn't see. Sometimes you see him with the ball on his feet, and he's got an easy way. And
But when the ball's not at his feet and and he's a shot stopper, he's usually in a good position.
Yeah.
When when they ask him to play the ball out of the back, and like Alex said, it looks like he's in another world, like he's in another game, and it like as if he really has. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I don't keep it running. I was just gonna say, and I'll let you finish. You know, if you look at someone like Ederson or some of these other guys that play out of the back with their feet, even when they're getting rushed down, they look exponentially more comfortable than Donnarumma does the moment somebody gets within 7 yards of them.
Yeah, 100%. They actually look like a player. They can put on a jersey and they can play left back, right back. They can play as a wing back. Donnarumma, but the thing is now people have caught on. They're gonna press us so high when we play the ball out of the back that he's gonna be forced to go to that second level. That's what Udine did to us. They played us so high that he was forced to go to the second level, and it would either end up in touch, or end up at one of Udinese's feet, or put his guy in such a bad position, whoever it is, that poor soul who would receive that dumbass ball from Donnarumma, in such a bad position that his next touch, he's losing it. And everybody's going to say, oh, that guy lost the ball in the midfield, me included. But if you look, it's that pass where Alex said he needs to go to the second level, he's screwing everybody over.
That's very well put, guys, on that. Speaking of all this, formation and teams, is closing out with the point number 5 of the priorities of this week. So, Real Betis. Sorry, we're at the 33rd minute. Steve is singing.
Phantom change. Higuain off. Castillejo in.
Where are you hurting, Steve? Where are you hurting? Over here. That's okay.
I tore my left armpit.
So, kind of a must-win against Real Betis. We do have a big game against Juventus playing at home on Sunday. Steve, what do? Do you go? It makes me laugh. You want to put the stronger lineup on? What we have a strong lineup.
We have a stronger lineup. I didn't know we have a choice.
Right. So I think it comes down to formation. I think you could still go back to now. This is hypothetically. Okay, on Thursday you're gonna have to go with a false 9. I think you should just go because
Higuain does not play.
Higuain doesn't play, right? So if you want to rest Cutrone just in case for Sunday, put in Castillejo like you did against Sassuolo as a false 9. Give Pepe Reina time to play. Obviously, he's gonna probably start against Real Betis. Who's gonna probably start? I don't know. Like for me, I think if you do something. Go with a 4-3-3 with a false 9 on Thursday, and go back to if Higuain comes in. If Higuain doesn't come in, guys, you're gonna have to go back to a 4-3-3 or bring. I don't know.
I would stick with the 4-4-2. I would play Cutrone against Real Betis. I think he's young. He has the legs. I think Castillejo after this weekend. Yes, he was wild, but he deserves a start.
Well, you start him as a striker?
Yeah, I would start him up front with it. We have no other choice.
Yeah,
we have no other choice. I'm not starting Borini anymore at striker. That's for sure. I'd rather someone who's a bit wild.
We have a lot of no choices.
Yeah, we have a lot of no choices here, guys. I think Laxal gets a start. I would rest Ricardo Rodriguez. I would put in against Betis. Must win in quotations. We don't want to lose the group.
No,
but we have another 2 games against the 2 weaker opponents in the group, which we should win. That's a big should with Milan, that's for sure. But you're away. You could fight for a point. I'll be happy with a point. I just want to get out of the group. Your main mission, and Frank from Serie A Sit Down said that, your main mission in Europa League is get out of the group. Because once you're out of the group, the tournament starts all over. Everybody comes back. Everybody comes in. The third place from Champions League come in, and the tournament starts all over.
So what would you do there for formation-wise? Would you stick with what we got? Would you start anybody else off the bench for Thursday?
I don't know what we do in defense. I don't know if you start Abate at right back? If Calabria's still out, then who do you start on Saturday? Because I don't know if he's got 3 games like that in him.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
This might not be a popular opinion, but I'm abandoning ship on the Europa League. I could care less. There's a good chance we're not going to get any of the prize money from this. Apparently, it looks that we're still going to be punished by UEFA for fair play violations, even though who knows what they're doing with PSG. But how dare us question that? I think we concentrate on the league. Concentrate on it's a big game, and if you can pick up points here. They go a long way. 1 point to Juventus, I think, is worth more than 1 point.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't know. I have trouble. I have trouble abandoning Europa League for one reason.
Me too.
For one reason, because if you've noticed, the finalists in Europa League, like last year, okay, we had Atletico Madrid, fantastic team, great pedigree. The other team who had a chance to win and sneak into the Champions League was Marseille.
Yeah.
I don't think Marseille is much better than us, Alex.
Probably the same thing.
I disagree on that.
You think they're much better than Milan?
No, I said I don't disagree.
You don't disagree. Okay,
and Marseille's been doing.
I don't think that Marseille's much better. I have a tough time putting a bunch of chips in a basket that turns into a one-off knockout tournament.
Yeah.
That, like we mentioned earlier, I'm from Kentucky. I'm a huge Kentucky basketball fan.
You're a Final Four guy. You're a March Madness, so you're used to the one-offs.
Yes, and a lot of times, the best team only wins. I think it's something like 18% of the time in those situations. So I guess I just worry because when you get to those tournaments, it's a lot of what happens on this day, who's healthy, does the ball bounce your way, I guess I think over the long haul of the season, you have a better shot than putting my hands into the faith of a tournament, but I can be convinced otherwise too. I'm not saying we give up, I'm just saying for this week, maybe we concentrate on the Juventus game.
No, I get it. For me, what my dream is to win Europa League, and it's not only for that Champions League spot, it's to just put it in the face of like the Napoli fans and the Roma fans and the Inter fans who've like continuously badgered us for being so bad, and after all these years, we'll be that only other team that's won a tournament. And they've won nothing. No Scudetto, no nothing, no Champions League, Europa League. I would take that. I would take that for a year. Just a glorified tournament, even if it's the Europa League. Hey, we've got us to the Champions League.
It's a lot. It's come a long way since its inception, the Europa League, and the only reason that I would try to go there for a win is for the morale of a team that is half banged up. And going into a Juventus, like I don't want us to go into a game against Real Betis and go, okay, let's see what happens here. Let's go out there and win this one, and let's go in with the best morale that we can have with a team with facing a team like Juventus.
Hello.
So Steve is just gonna answer his phone.
Yeah.
He likes to
listen live. We're on the podcast, man. Every time you call, we're on the podcast.
We're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. He's one of our sponsors. I guess that's what he gets.
The sponsor. So hold on a second. We're gonna put you on the air, okay? Alex, we're gonna put the sponsor. So this is Sergio, Alex. He's our sponsor from Tres Sapori Ristorante in Bressard.
Nice.
And
Sergio, he hung up on us.
It's twice you do this to him. Maybe he doesn't like to be put on the spot, but it's all good. It's all good. Do we go from the presidential thumbs up? Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say one last point on what you're talking about. Maybe saying abandoned ship is too harsh, and I know I'm being all wishy-washy here, but I think for me the most important thing is a plan. That there's a plan of this is how we're going to attack this game, and then we come out to play Juventus, and it looks like this was all planned. Of we know how we're managing this, we know who's doing what, and I'll be happy as long as it looks like there's a plan, not that we just did this, and then something weird happened in this, and oh well, it's like this now, you know.
Yeah.
Stick to a plan, whether it it comes to fruition or not. At least give it a shot, and like let's not go different plan A, plan B, plan C. Just stick to something, and and like Steve was saying, just we don't wanna be embarrassed. We just wanna, if we have to lose, let's lose with some dignity and show that we have we
have some balls.
There we go.
We need to show that we have some balls.
So before we let you go, first of all, thank you very much for joining us today.
Wait, hold on a second.
Oh, you want to take them through? You want to take them through that too?
Well, yeah, we have no choice.
What do you mean we have no choice?
President gives us the stuff that we need to go through. We need to ask Alex the questions.
Okay, so now do we even
So Alex, he called it this boring because the president is a bit boring sometimes. So he called the segment thumbs up, thumbs down. We'll keep it thumbs up, thumbs down for this week, but guarantee we're gonna change it. So basically, there are two things that he wants to talk about that he would not have brought up on his presidential point.
Okay, I don't know if you saw this the way I saw it. We've been complaining that he gets too much presidential points, so this is his way to go, hey guys, I got a new segment for you guys. These are still presidential points. But it's just, okay, so his thumbs up this week.
Very original there, Marcello.
Yes, very, very, very nice. Was the Milan women's team winning 3-0 against the Juventus, gaining first spot in the women's Serie A. I don't know if you caught a little bit of that this weekend or saw that they beat those Bianconeri ladies 3-0 and are top of the Serie A for the women.
Yeah, I've actually been following it all season ever since they bought out the license and they're starting the team this year. I'm actually going to try to look into starting to write a little bit about them just to keep updates on us over at the AC Milan Offside.
Oh,
it's impressive.
Nice.
You first year as a team, and you're in first. They've been in first a lot of the season. I don't know much about them, but they seem to be performing well. Some of the highlights I see, they look good. So it's an underreported story, I feel like, in the Milan world. But hopefully, we'll
we have to get the ladies.
So.
We have to get the ladies a little bit more exposure. Milan Weekly Podcast and AC Milan Offside are going to take care of that.
We're going to see what we can do. Yeah, because they definitely deserve that, and it was very nice to see. And his thumbs down, as he would put it, was goes to the conspiracy revealed by football leaks of Europe's top club considering creating a super league. It's all about greed. Who cares about tradition? Blah blah blah. You know what,
blah blah blah.
What yada 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 for the Seinfeld fans out there. But I was reading this stuff and it's like, does anybody expect anything to change from this whole like football leaks or anything like? Steve, were you laughing and saying, "Oh no, really? PSG and Manchester City about the FIFA Fair Play and how they want to create a Super League, but they gave more money, so they kicked back to the Champions League."
For me, it's just I love it. I love the drama. This is like Mercato madness, but with, I don't know, financial madness. I love this stuff. Like am I surprised? No. Do I want to know like how much money they really stole? Yeah, I want to know. For me, it wouldn't be a thumbs down. I want to know this stuff. As a fan, I want to know. Maybe it's because I'm across the pond. I'm not taking it as seriously as someone else who goes to the games and but would that have changed? Or this Super League, is it going to change something? Is it a pressure tactic? I just love reading it. It's just amazing stuff. And just to think about how these teams are flexing their financial power against a humongous organization.
And in the end, even if all these things were all true, Alex, do you think anything would come from this? For me, it's like I seriously, it's fine to read and so we're basically reading stuff that we always thought was happening back in the backstage.
And I read something too, and someone brought up a good point with this Super League, like. The way they have it coming out is that 11 teams will have a spot for 20 years guaranteed. I get what the guy was saying. It like that's okay because Milan's part of those 11 teams. But selfishly, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't. Why wouldn't I be, right? But on the other,
14-year-olds that were very confused why Milan was in that list. I bet you.
Yeah, that's guaranteed. And but on the other hand, like. It's an adventure in itself to qualify for Champions League. Like
Exactly.
It's like the story of the season. Like if Milan this year they qualify for Champions League, it will be like a story for them. It'll be like, look, we got it done. You know, like against all odds, we got it done. That won't exist anymore. That's the thing that's gonna bother me about the Super League.
What do you put any truth to this football leaks?
I tend to think that something like this is somebody's trying to do something like this because they see the money, like you said, that there's potential there for a ton of growth, for a ton of money. You know, if you're cementing certain people in, that can generate, you know, for extended periods of time, that can generate higher levels of revenue because you have guaranteed exposure to sponsors, you know, people, this or that. But I'm with Steve on this one. Like I said, I fell in love with Milan watching the Champions League. You know, I saw your today saying what year was a Champions League winner when you were born. I was born in 1989. Milan is the Champions League of my birth year.
I got stuck with Liverpool, Alex. Fucking yeah, Liverpool. 81, Liverpool.
You know, everybody talks about, you know, Juventus and all their league titles they won and everything, but in that same conversation, even though we have almost half the league titles of them is us with our 7 Champions Leagues dwarfing them. It's a shadow they can never get away from. I always loved the massive tifo the Curvasut did, where it had I forget when it was, but it had all the tombstones of the Juventus losses in the Champions League.
Yeah, the 7 losses.
Yes, the 7 runners up to our 7 titles. I think we'd be missing something.
Dollar, right? That's what it comes down to. But still an interesting read to have a look and take a look at Marcotti's article from over there. Money, 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 money. Just like back in the day, our Red Card Weekly sponsor, we have no money.com.
We have no money.com.
We have no money.com. Before we let you go, Alex, this is your second time to shine. Plug yourself away on the Twitter, on the
And what a fantastic conversation.
Yes, very nice conversation.
I'm so happy that I met you, Alex, because I love March Madness. I love the tournament, and I wish I could come to Kentucky and watch a game with you.
Oh man, anytime, boys. If you're around, let me know. You can actually, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned, you can find me at Phantom_special on Twitter. I write for for the SB Nation, the AC Milan Offsides blog. I, for the most part, do the previews for the games, and then I do some articles here and there. This was great, man. I enjoyed it, guys. I have one good buddy from law school who's a Madrid fan who I get to talk soccer with a lot, and that's about it. So I really enjoyed it. It was a great conversation. I really appreciate you guys having me on and having us on from the offside.
We appreciate it very much as well, and it's all about whether we're, like we were saying, the Milan guys at the club, or talking on Facebook with guys from Slovenia, from Malaysia. It's all about spreading the culture love and our love for
red
Milan.
And black, red and black.
We believe the red and black.
Now we're friends. We're podcast buddies. We're united by this internet that they call that's connecting us. So
yeah,
we're forever connected.
And we'll send you all the information once we go up live on the YouTube, live on the Twitter, live on the Radio Rossonera. So thank you very much once again, and we'll catch up soon, Alex.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a great evening.
You too.
You too.
Ciao.
Later.
What a fantastic guest.
But the Presidente,
fantastic.
The Presidente does not bad when he gets to the
oh yeah, he hits home runs.
He hits home runs for real, and you see, he got in his other
thumb up, thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up, thumb down, thumb up, thumb down. Let's give it to the people. Please name this segment. So it's one good thing, one bad thing.
The indigestion of the week. I don't know.
Ubrioshka of the week.
Ubrioshka of the week. I don't know. We'll come up with
Ubrioshka panettone. Ubrioshka panettone.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, brioche makes you feel better, though.
True.
So, guys, Thursday, right? We got Real Betis. Sunday, we got Juventus. We're going to be, again, Chicharos on Sunday.
Yes, we will.
We're going to have our Milan
membership
Club
cards.
Membership cards. Guys, we're gonna
Thanks
bring
to
out
Jonathan, by Max, Henry Brassa. Go get your printing stuff there.
and thanks to again the reached out to the Toy and Food Drive that's happening December 16th here in Montreal, giving out perishable goods, your old toys, and as you guys know, all the hats that we'll be
Old
saying.
toys or new toys? What are we giving?
Anything. You want to bring
Anything?
new toys, you want to
Old
bring old
toys too,
toys.
they take?
They take
Beautiful.
everything. That's what the whole point
Oh,
of it.
that's
Like you
very
bring
nice.
out your stuff. And guys, the Milan Club Montreal hats that we said it to everybody. We're selling them at $20 each. They cost us $15. Every single $5, every single hat, $5 will go directly towards them to help to buy groceries. Milan Club Slovenia, thank you very much for the scarf
La
that
Sharpa.
Steve is so gallantly wearing here.
I'm
at
gonna
the-
moonlight a couple of them. We have from everywhere. So.
It's true. It's true. So, guys, thank you very much for listening once again. Thanks to Alex, or check out his, SB Nation, the Milan Offside. Thanks to my box of Kleenex that holds up my phone. Comunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao.